Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Panther II. It's a Tier 8 German medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of Ruinberg, and this one is under the commands of marke12. Now, this is a tank that was actually designed before the first of the Panthers actually saw combat in Russia. It was basically an upgraded version of the Panther, and it had extra armor on the front and the sides of the tank. Now, they ordered 2 prototypes to be made in 1944. Only one was actually produced before the end of the war, and of course that was captured by the Americans and is now at Fort Benning. It's armed with a 75mm main gun. Well, that's what the real Panther II had. In actual fact, in the game, there's a veritable choice, a smorgasbord of different guns that you can actually have. First shot hits the SU-130PM, but we take them around from the town from a T-32. In fact, that was a 90mm round that hit us from the town. In fact, we just managed to bounce another one that came from the T-32. You notice how the waggling really helped there. In actual fact, there are 3 different guns you can actually have. There's, well, 3 main different guns. There's a 75mm, which is actually capable of 135 alpha and only 150mm of pen. You can either have a 10.5cm, which is a tier 5 gun actually, and that does 350 alpha. That's the dirt gun. It's only 64mm of pen, or you can have the 8.8, which is actually 203mm of pen and 240 alpha. And in fact, that's the one that Marke is selected to use, and it's got a fairly fast fire rate. But there is other guns that you can actually use. There's another version of the 7.5, which is actually a tier 8 version, and another 8.8, which is a tier 9 gun, but it has longer reload. So obviously not everyone selects the top gun. They sometimes select the middle one, the tier 8 one, because it's more effective. IS. Takes a nice round through the side, 224, which is a low roll. Is that AMX? Oh, it's an AMX 65 ton. Well, we didn't see that one, see if it went in, but I get the feeling Marke's feeling quite lonely now, because most of his teammates have gone away. They lost the forest spirit that was actually on this area, in this area. He got wiped out, and now he's facing a number of enemy tanks. Going for the P-43. Pumps around in, didn't get a high roll. Well, he did get a nice roll, 252, but it wasn't high enough to wipe out the P-43, which means now there's a 90mm gun out there who's very angry that he lost virtually all of his hit points. And Marke's going kind of defensive, and in fact actually screaming help to his teammates, but they don't seem to be helping him at all. The trouble is, if he stays this side of the rubble, he gets shot in the rear by the guys from the town, and if he goes to the other side of the rubble to protect against the tanks in the town, he gets shot in the rear by the medium tanks who are behind him. And yeah, I think he's starting to feel this. He's all alone. Ouch. Go away. E25 just pumped a 75mm round into us. Now, why did they actually go ahead and build or design the Panther II? Well, it's actually down to Hitler. He looked at the standard designs for the Panther I and said there wasn't enough armor. So he wanted them to start work on designing a replacement for the Panther I, or rather the Panzerkampfwagen 5, which is the Panzer V. And he wanted a new version of the Panzer V, and he takes that P-43 at last. So he wanted that new tank even before the first of the Panthers saw action in Germany. Oh, AMX 1357. He's taken one hit, only 157mm round, but here comes the Iron Army, and he took a big clout from that guy, but it's in the tracks. And his engine's damaged. Oh, takes out the 1357. This is not good. He's all alone. His teammates have left him alone with all of these enemy tanks. Go for the E25. Yes! Gets a nice hit with the 242. It's a high roll. Now he's stuck with this engine. And in fact, actually, the engine on the Panther II was a major problem because they put all that extra weight on the armor and the engine just wasn't powerful enough to drive the thing. This tank's got a top speed of 55 kilometers an hour, which is not that fast for a Panther tank. That T-34-3 is actually threatening him as well. Can you get a shot? Yep, gets one in. Makes him a one shot now, or he might if he can get one shot hit. Oh, that post got in the way. Ah, he does get the kill. Good. High roll. He's still all alone, and he's facing, what, 2 tanks nearby him, 3 tanks nearby him. The Iron Arnie's just around the corner. He's a one shot, but there are other tanks nearby. 2 tank destroyers. He's got the E-25 just further down there. And behind him, he's also got another tank. I think it's an SU-130PM. Okay, he's fixed his engine. He's got a decent amount of damage already, 2,176. And he's got 3 kills, but he is kind of lonely because all he's got is the Scorpion a little further away. Okay, missed the IS. He's way down in the town, but he backs up. For a second, I thought he was going to go after that guy. Oh, he just blind killed an T-103 way down in the town center using the minimap. I thought it was Arty who only did blind kills. In actual fact, of course, a lot of tanks do blind kill other enemy tanks based on what's being seen. But I think you can see in this battle, unfortunately, only down to 4 players left on his team. And the rest of his team are getting wiped out one by one. And there's still 8 enemy tanks out there. It's a big ask for him to win this game. IS. No, didn't get that one in. He should try again though, and try and aim for the reversible turret. That got it. Yep. Rear end of the turret. You'll get the pen there. We can't see the CC67, but we can see this T-32, the one who hit us earlier in the game. That one hit the tracks. Now, try and get one in the side. Yep. Low roll, 218, but he can get him on the next one. All we can see is the turret. Oh, good job. He got the shell into the hull, and oh, we got double tapped. The Iron Arnie and the SMVC, the SMV CC67 both got a kill shot. In fact, it was the Iron Arnie who got the kill shot with a heat round. Here's the end of battle results. Sadly, that was a defeat, but it was a first-class tanker for marke12, and it's the first-class tanker that he's actually taken because he's got the scrolls underneath. He did get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he also got a master gunner for getting 5 armor-penetrating shots in a row, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12 in total. And on top of all that, he got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, that last one was the T-32. That was his 6th kill, but he got wiped out directly afterwards. The win rate from that game was 6,219. He did as much as he could, but his team basically left him to carry the whole of the rest of the team by holding onto the village and stopping the enemy from making an advance in that direction, from that direction. So if we look at the team score, we can see... yes, he did 3,116 hit points of damage, but the high scorer in that game was that T-32. He got a high caliber and Confederate for 6,175 hit points. Second highest was Marke with 3,116. And the third highest damage turned out to be the Scorpion, the one near the closer into the town. He got 1,533. When it came to kills, it's actually, yes, it's Marke. He got 6 kills out of that one. 4 kills went to the T-32 and the E-25, and 2 kills went to the Iron Arnie and the Tiger 1. And of course, Marke was one of the kills for the Iron Arnie, and he picked up a Spartan in that game as well. Excuse me. And also the Tiger 1, he got 2 kills out of that game. When it came to base XP, it's the T32 did the best with 1,737. 979 went to the E25. 762 went to the Iron Arty. And we can see that Marky got 690. So he was doing well, even though he was on the losing team. He fired 21 shots in the game. 19 direct hits on the enemy. 16 penetrations. 3,116 hit points of damage, of which 1,164 were up more than 300 meters. He received 9 hits from the enemy, only 6 of which actually penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, 960 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, 888 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 44,528 credits on a premium count, 5,696 for courageous resistance. That's because he got a Top Gun, which is a battle hero medal in a losing game. And he 50,223 credits altogether. After repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he took away a profit of 20,135 credits, 1,035 base XP. Oh, sorry, it's not base XP, but it's XP for the battle. 586 for courageous resistance, 1,621 from personal reserves, and took away 3,243 experience points altogether. He says, I can't do everything by myself, and I completely agree. Really, to be honest, the moment that he was left all alone with just that Scorpion closer to the town, he should have fallen back like the others and tried to defend from afar. But it was very difficult for him to do so because that T-34-3 actually did move to a position whereby if he had tried to retreat, he probably would have been taken out in the field as he was trying to get back to the house line. So he was really left with no choice but to stay as close as he did to the village and try and take on the enemy tanks one by one. But it was an impossible task to try and carry for the team because basically the team in the town just basically gave way. And that T-32, the one who hit him right at the start of the game, turned out to be the best player on the enemy team. And yeah, it took him at least 2 shots to take him down. Well, it took 1 shot into the side of the vehicle, which hit the tracks, and then another shot to actually take him down on the upper plate. But yes, at least Marky got the better of that guy before he succumbed to the enemy guns. And it took 2 tanks to take him down, firing at him simultaneously. Otherwise, he would have kept firing. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.